Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome back to DCTV, where I'm your host, Drew Collins. This is my co-host, Courtney. And we are kicking some ass here so far this year. We are now in week 9 of the NFL season, which just sucks. I mean, I can't believe how fast the season's going. And welcome to the channel if you're new. If you aren't, welcome back. Every week's picks and predictions for every single game. Full transparency. You see our wins, you see our losses, and it's been a fun year so far. I'm 81-41. Courtney is 72-50, and I just gonna take over real quick because I had my best week of the year. Find me somebody professional or non-professional with a better record than 14-2 on picks. 14-2. Courtney, I believe you went. Was it 11-4?
12.
11. Oh, okay. But I mean, a very freaking solid week by us, and 14-2. I don't know if I'm ever gonna live this down because I was shocked myself. I thought there was at least more than 2 games I lost. The Chiefs and Broncos. I don't think any of us saw that. Any of that the way that playing out. I mean, I know Mahomes had a flu game, but geez, that was really ugly. And then my only other game I lost was the Texans and Panthers. I went the Texans, and they barely lost that game. I mean,
that was one of my good underdog picks there.
Right. And I told you, I literally in the clip, I went in there and I said that's a good pick. I was like, although I'm on the other side here, I truly think that's a good pick, and I could see that one going either way, and it really went that way. So, a freaking fantastic week last week here on DCTV. Find someone who had better picks than us. Just really going to ride this momentum into this week. Although I will say I'm not as confident in this for this week for some of these picks as I was last week. Last week I had a lot of high confidence picks, and I felt like I was really seeing the board well. This week, not as much. And I see Dylan in chat already bringing up the fact about Josh Dobbs becoming a Viking with Kirk Cousins, unfortunately tearing his Achilles after having an MVP caliber season. I'll get into that, but is Josh Dobbs a top 10 quarterback discussion? I mean, come on, we already know the deal. I think the Josh Dobbs situation caught me off because I was thinking maybe Jameis Winston or some of these other guys that can sling the ball, because if you know the Vikings offense, they throw it about 90% of the time at least. And with no Dalvin Cook, we have no run game, but we'll get into that later. Is there anything you want to touch on, Courtney, about this last week?
I would just like to say that I could have probably been 13-3 had I not been such a loyal, amazing, true Steeler fan. So I don't think anyone can really hold that one against me.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
I mean, I wrote it out with the Jags. I guess while we're on this point, I did say the Jags defense as a hot take's better than the Steelers defense. You're like, no way. The Jags defense held the Steelers to 10 points. Or the Steelers offense for 10 points. So.
All right, but that's like, okay, I get that. I see your point, but you also have to compare offenses. Okay, ours stinks. Okay,
fair enough.
So you can't. It's not even a good comparison. It's really not.
Fair enough. I agree. I won a few $100 this last weekend. I'm ecstatic. This is my best week of NFL so far this season. But I just was seeing the board really well. Go follow us on our socials while you can. You see our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitter on both of our sides. I started posting some clips on TikTok that took off a little bit. So after every week, I'm going to try to clip every single game in like a minute, so you don't have to watch the full hour and a half. You can find that on my TikTok, which is lifeofdctv, or my Instagram, which is lifeofdctv. If you want to, get to the short time, revisit some of our games, you could do that later on in the week. Other than that, hey, Houday, Skull, both my teams get the W this week. We called the primetime games correctly. Like, I'm pretty ecstatic. The Raiders-Lions game, the Lions made the Raiders organization explode. And Aaron Rodgers will probably play this week. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna let you start this week because Thursday Night Football, we have your Steelers and the new look Titans, which I called for them to get the win last week behind Will Levis. I said my exact words were, I feel like Will Levis gives this offense a little bit of firepower they didn't have. And would you look at the game he had? He had, 3 passing touchdowns? Hopkins had a hell of a game, and it looked like a new Titans team. So, Courtney, you're a Steelers fan. Are you riding with Will Levis? Is he going to piece apart this defense, or is Mike Tomlin going to have the boys hyped up and ready?
I'm going with the Steelers. However, I also picked the Titans last week, and I thought Will Levis had a great game.
He did.
But Jordan Love had a good game his first game too, and look where that's gone. So I don't want to go crazy and jump on Will Levis and be like, "Oh, this guy's it," because not that he didn't have a great game, but I want to see some more stuff because I said the same thing about Jordan Love, and look where that got me. So I am going to go with the Steelers. I think we might. The Steelers, I don't know how accurate this is, but I'm pretty sure this is right. The Steelers are the second best franchise in the league of having the best primetime records with 91 wins in primetime, only behind the Cowboys, who have 95.
Okay.
However, we are 11-11 on Thursday Night Football. But so basically we're 0-0, but we're at Heinz Field again. I think we have a home stretch, and it is a tough place to play. Our secondary can be straight dog water. So if those deep balls, we might have some problems.
However, Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that stinks. However, Joey Porter Jr. is now the starter for this game over Levi Wallace. Which I'm not going to say that's a game-changing decision there. However, he has been great in his looks. I really want to point out the fact that Mike Tomlin, in one of his press conferences, he goes, "Yeah, we had some turnovers in the end zone, but, they just aren't the good kind of turnovers where it's going to put your offense in a good position." You're like, bro, what is this guy talking about? But upon rewatching it, I think it's really more of a dig at the offense than the defense, because our defense has to go out there and play offense. I'm pretty sure Kenny Pickett is playing this week. I know he got banged up last week.
Dylan said something in the chat. Do you know if Kenny or Mitch is getting the start?
Not
that I think it matters, but
well, I mean, I believe it is Kenny Pickett, but it doesn't really matter, honestly, and I to be that. But Mitch did not look great. He had one good throw. But nevertheless, like I said, I think we might have some problems with deep balls. If Will Levis is going to continue to do that, if he does that this week, we might be a little, unless they're doing one-on-one with Joey Porter. Joey Porter's going to literally laugh in their face as he gets a pick six. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Steelers on this one. It's not a very high confidence pick. These primetime games this season have, they're low scoring. They're not a ton of fun to watch. And I'm sure I'm going to be pissed off until the fourth quarter when the Steelers finally wake up. However, I will say this about the quarterback situation. Fourth quarter, Kenny Pickett, I will take him over Mitch any day of the week. So there's my pick.
Look, I understand your pick. You're riding with your team.
I know.
There's two things the Steelers do good here. Mike Tomlin plays well at home. He plays well at primetime, and he game plans well against rookies. So that's 3 big things that I like about the Steelers heading to this one. Mike Tomlin has a good game plan against rookies. He does good in primetime. And, I think there's a lot of stats that sway the Steelers' way. But for me, I'm riding with the home or the away dogs Titans here. My main reason is a few weeks ago, I went with the Mike Tomlin against rookie stat. I believe was it the Texans?
Okay, but is
And
Will Levis CJ Stroud? No.
Yeah, but I mean, Will Levis has more weapons than CJ Stroud, I would argue. And
Okay.
he had
Yeah.
3 passing touchdowns. We don't know what he is because we've only seen him through 1 game. And I'm just not very confident in the Steelers unit right now. They look terrible against the
Who is?
Jags.
Who is? Mike Tomlin's not confident in the Steelers unit.
Look, and the Titans are 0-3. The Steelers are 0-3 at home. Steelers are 2-2 or 0-3 away. Steelers are 2-2 at home. Everything points towards the Steelers' direction in this one. I'm just gonna go with my gut and ride with Will Levis until he proves me otherwise. I just think that he can put up some points against the Steelers' defense. I mean, they give up over 400 yards allowed a game. I know yards aren't points, but I think there is something to say for that. I don't know. I just feel like the Titans will be able to throw on the Steelers, which will open up the run game, whether that may be Tajay Spears or the big guy back there. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not very confident. I would say it's a low to medium confidence pick. I think the Steelers defense is still a bit overrated, even though they usually score just as much as the offense does nowadays.
If not more.
They gave up 20 last week. I think they could give up 20 again this week, and I just see the Titans being able to outduel them. Look, I'm also one more stat. The Titans give up less points per game than the Steelers. Does that mean the Titans defense is better than the Steelers? Statistically, I would say they give up less points. I don't know. I think there's an argument for that. So I think it'll be a close game. It'll probably not be that high scoring, but I'm going to roll with the Titans. Courtney's going to ride with their Steelers. Somebody will start the week 1-0, and somebody will start the week 0-1, and may the best man/woman win. So at least we're not either very confident in our picks, but
I mean, I don't hate
Tomlin burnt me that week, and that really pissed me off. Like, I know how good of a coach he is as a Bengals fan, but still, like, he's got to prove me one in the right direction here. So he beats me, or he proves me wrong here. Then maybe I'll go back to Steelers in some of these prime time or rookie games. So, anyways, we head to Germany in this next game. We got Dolphins at Chiefs, which is arguably the best 1 o'clock game. All right, well, it's not even a 1 o'clock game. You can start your morning off and by 1 o'clock have this game over with. Courtney, are you riding with your Miami Dolphins here and Tua and the Waddle and all that good stuff, or you gonna ride with Mahomes?
I'm gonna ride with the Cheetah and the Dolphins. I have Tyreek Hill on my bed right there. Hold on, wait, right there. There's Tyreek Hill. I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, is Patrick Mahomes feeling better? I mean, golly, that was terrible last game.
I don't know why he played. I seriously don't know. I know he got
the
that
flu, had IVs in his arm. I mean, what's going on?
Right.
And now he just made a cross the globe trip to Germany. That didn't feel good. I can guarantee you that. Also, I don't know if you saw this, but the Mike McDaniel, like his first press conference, he was like he made a joke and the room was just like dead silent. I was like, tough crowd.
Oh, he got to Germany. He was like, "Oh, did you guys not think I was as tall as I was?"
Yes.
And everyone was just like, "Crickets."
I know. It's like, golly, this place sucks. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins on this one. It's a low. I think it's kind of a pick 'em for me. It's up in the air. It could go either way. If Taylor Swift goes to this game, then obviously bet all the overs on Travis Kelce. But if she's not there, then I wouldn't be surprised if this Dolphins team won. I know that there is something to be said about the Dolphins not beating good teams, but if you just get beat by Denver, then you're on my shit list because I hate Denver. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL, or so we thought. Well, maybe I thought, but here we are. So yeah, I'm a low comment pick going with the Dolphins.
2 straight games where we disagree. Courtney's going to ride with the Dolphins. I'm going to ride with the Chiefs here. A couple of reasons. It's about a medium confidence pick. Look, although I just complained about, analysts or sports reporters and analysts using narratives and how dumb it is, I'm going to keep using the narrative that Dolphins don't beat good teams because it's a stat. I mean, it's a factual stat that they don't beat teams that are competing they will destroy and beat up on the teams that aren't very good, and then they get to the games where these teams are good, and they just haven't won. So, in 2, they can break that narrative. I'm going to ride with it.
Well, the Dolphins
The
beat
Chiefs,
the Broncos by 70, and then the Chiefs just lost to the Broncos. So what is that?
NFL math doesn't math, though. You can't do that. NFL math doesn't math. We all know that.
That's not one of my actual reasons. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Chiefs play well in November statistically. If you go past like the last 3 to 4 years, they are like 61-11 or something, like super ridiculous. I don't know. I looked up some crazy number. I don't know it. I don't know off the top of my head, but it was something crazy. Dolphins beat bad teams, but lose to the good ones. And then one more stat I found: Kansas City is second in points per game given up in the entire NFL. Miami is 25th. So, I mean, a lot of points should be in this one, but at the same time, it's in Germany. So these kind of out of U.S. games usually aren't high scoring, but this one could be. I look at the lines. Kansas City's favored by 1.5. The over-under's 50.5. So people are expecting a lot of points. I would just, take the points with the Chiefs and call it a day. And that's what I'm going to do at 9:30 a.m. here on the East Coast. Give me the Chiefs in a bounce back game. Look, the Chiefs had a bad one last week. It's all on Mahomes' fault. That happens. I'm a Bengals fan. Joe Burrow was a huge reason why we lost these, first few weeks of the season. It happens. He bounces back. I think Mahomes will do the same thing. The Kelsey thing, I don't even want to talk about. It's so old to me at this point. The news is so old. I will say it was awesome to see Jalen Ramsey back and make big plays as soon as he's off his injury. So it was cool to see that last week. But, yeah, I think that sums that one up pretty well. Moving into the 1 o'clock slate, I'll get this one started as well because it's my Minnesota Vikings heading to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. And you might be thinking, Drew, the Viking season's over. Kirk tore his Achilles after having an MVP caliber season. Like, the season's over.
Rest in peace, Kirk Cousins. We will miss you.
It's over. It's done. Justin Jefferson probably shouldn't even return. He might as well sit out the rest of the year. Why re-injure your hamstring injury? And it just goes on and on and on. But guess what? I'm riding with my Vikings here. Hear me out. Atlanta just announced they're benching Ritter. So is Taylor Heineke starting? Is he that much better than Jarrett Hall or Joshua Dobbs? The Vikings announced that they're probably going to be starting Jarrett Hall, but Joshua Dobbs could play or even start depending on how well he picks up the playbook. But are we really saying Taylor Heineke and this Falcons team is that much better than whoever's at the realm for the Vikings? I mean, the Vikings team is just way more talented, even without Justin Jefferson. I mean, TJ Hawkinson, Addison, KJ Osborne, who is stepping up against those guys? Kyle Pitts, who gets like 10 receptions a season. I mean, give me a break. This Falcons team is just so disorganized these past few weeks. I mean, hello, Bijan Robinson. Like, are you going to use him? Like, he's so talented. Kyle Pitts, are you going to utilize him? This Falcons team just really, really makes me mad. Why are they already giving up on Desmond Ridder? Like, do you really think Taylor Heineke's going to be that guy? That puts a bad taste in your mouth if you decide to ride with Ridder again. Like, I thought this Falcons team could make a push towards the playoffs, but I mean, they are just falling apart here quick. And I just think the Vikings go out there, they play gritty football, get it? Because just Jefferson. I think the Vikings just go out there and they prove these guys and they prove this national media wrong, and they go get a win for Kirk Cousins, who will probably be throwing footballs just like Aaron Rodgers after week 1. I wouldn't be surprised if Cousins out there like, already in a boot. Maybe he's just wearing shoes. Maybe he's in a shoe. He's just out in shoes. He's out there tossing just Jefferson. Like, I don't know. But nonetheless, give me the Vikings. I think they shocked the world here.
I'm also going to go with the Vikings. I think this Josh Dobbs move was good. Was a good move for the Vikings. This guy didn't stink in Arizona. He didn't. Like, he was not the problem. And I think, he definitely has games under his belt. He's probably going to be able to pick up this offense fairly quickly. He's been around the league and knows what to do. And I just, R.I.P. Kirk, I'll miss you. It really stinks this happened, but our friend who defies science, Aaron Rodgers, is going to send you to the promised land. So I'm not even worried about that. He'll be back probably by the end of the season as well. If the Vikings somehow go make a run in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say on this. I think Atlanta stinks. I
just think they're confused. I don't think they have an identity. Like, what are you doing? I mean, Ritter, 6 touchdowns, 6 picks. Obviously not good.
I don't think that I've won with them like these 50 losses that I've had. I think like majority of that is from Atlanta because like you just never know what they're going to come out and do. They can come out and score a bunch of points. They can come out and be the absolute worst team in the NFL. So it's just like
and I just want to say how awesome this is, even as a Vikings fan, to try to find the good and the bad, is that just a few weeks ago, people were saying Vikings, you mail in the year, like you might as well just go get your lottery pick quarterback. And then a few weeks later, we're talking about that they're probably going to beat the Falcons even without Kirk Cousins. Like, it's crazy. ESPN has the Vikings winning a 51% chance, like with a backup quarterback. I mean, that just, as a Vikings fan, it just makes you think like, damn, what could have this team been once Justin Jefferson came back and so forth. If you like the Vikings and you want to ride with us, they are currently plus 180 money line, plus 4.5. I mean, you could tease that to plus 6.5, and at least they lose, or plus 7 and, lose by a touchdown or less. I mean, you got some options here. The over under is 37. You could look at the under possibly if you think it's going to be low scoring. So I don't know. We're both going to ride with the Vikings here, where they're big dogs. So hopefully we can cash this one. He said Cousins is going to redeem all his Cole's cash on a new ACO. Well, that's he would be the type of guy to Cole's, but how do you not like Kirk? Kirk is such a good guy. So anyways, let's go to another NFC North team in this next game for 1:00, and that's going to be the Chicago Bears taking on the New Orleans Saints. Courtney, who do you have for this one, and why?
Taking a gamble here. I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Ooh, we picking all NFC North teams this week?
Maybe, but I think the Saints stink. Like, again, another team where I just continuously lose. Whether I'm picking them to win, they lose, or they win when I don't pick them. So I just want to fade them so bad all the time.
Yep.
It was kind of a dumpster fire there for a second with them. Like, what? Again, another team that kind of just doesn't know what they're doing or where they're going. So yeah, it's a low confidence pick in the Bears. I think it's kind of up in the air. It's just who wants to play worse, who wants to get more penalties, who wants to make more mistakes. I think that's what this one's going to end up coming down to.
I absolutely love your pick with the Bears, but I am riding with the Saints. Look, it's also low confidence, and it's so funny what you said saying they stink, because I literally have written down this. I said this Saints team stinks, but the Bears stink even more. Literally said the Saints team stinks, but the Bears stink even more. I literally have that word for word on my Google Doc. I agree. I totally dislike the Saints team. I think they're the worst 4-win team in the league so far this year. But there's just too many question marks on this Bears team. Like, that backup quarterback from D2, like, cool story. Seems like a nice kid. Like, want to root for him, but I just don't see him getting it done. I mean, look, the New Orleans Saints just have more weapons at the end of the day. I don't love Derek Carr either, but I mean, when he has Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave and some other dogs, like, I think he should be able to outscore the Bears here. As simple as that. Another reason why I like the Bears, if I were to choose them, is they were buyers at the trade deadline. They were acquiring talent. They weren't mailing it in. Like, they traded the 2nd-round pick for the kid from Washington, Montez Sweat. Like, although it was kind of funny, they gave up a 2nd, and then they see like an hour later, the 49ers got arguably the better defensive end on the same team for a 3rd, which was kind of funny to see. I saw a couple memes on Twitter, which was funny, but yeah, the Bears were buyers at the end of the trade deadline, which like speaks volume to me in my opinion. But I don't know if Montez Sweat was worth the 2nd. That's another day. That's another story to talk about. But give me the Saints, low confidence. I mean, look, the Bears are +8. That's a lot of points in an NFL game. Courtney and I talk about it every week. Like, if you want to bet money, like +7 in the NFL is just a lot of points. Not many games are blowouts unless it's the Dolphins versus a bad team. If you think they could pull it off, sprinkle the money line +310. But I'm gonna ride with the Saints. She's riding with the Bears.
Honestly, a part of this pick is boredom. I don't like I said, I'm just kind of frustrated with the Saints team.
I would not mind at all if I was wrong on this one. So
well, the Bears have had a couple spurts of hope here and there.
Right. I mean, it takes you back to the primetime game where they dropped 40 on the Commanders. So like, you never know in the NFL. But yeah, we got a lot of disagreements so far. We disagree on we got out of the 4 games, we disagree on 3 of them so far.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm almost 10 games ahead of you at this point. It's about time. We need a week where you can catch up at this point. But NFC North again, another NFC North game here at 1:00. Rams heading to the overrated Green Bay Packers. I absolutely love going over my clips and reposting on social media because I get to rehear the crazy shit I'm saying, and I just listen to myself when I talk about the Packers. And I just love it. It just makes me smile because a month ago, everybody's Packers this, Packers that, NFC North this, NFC North that. What about now, Packers fans? Is Jordan Love the passing of the torch from Rodgers? And I just love it. And then they have another week where they play another mediocre team that they're going to lose to. Look, high confidence pick in the Rams if Stafford plays. If Stafford doesn't play, give me the Packers. It's fair to say that because it's early in the week. It's only Wednesday. But yeah, there's a question mark if Stafford's going to play or not. I think he has something with like a UCL or something. I honestly am not even sure. But if Stafford plays, hammer the Rams. Like, this Packers team just blows, man. It's as simple as that. Their coach is so overrated. The only reason he had a couple good seasons was because he became a head coach to Aaron Rodgers. What head coach starts a career with Aaron Rodgers? Like, anybody should be able to win games. Jordan Love, 11 touchdowns to 8 picks. I mean, what's the running game? A.J. Dillon hasn't done much. When Aaron Jones is healthy, he hasn't done much. Courtney, do you know who the leading receiver is for the Packers?
I actually don't.
Somebody by the name of Jaden Reed, 2nd-round pick out of Michigan State. Oh, by the way, he's the leading receiver. He has 20 receptions and 300 yards. Leading receiver.
Good for him. Good for him. Michigan State's really got a lot of good stuff going on. I mean, they just had Hitler on their board, so really good stuff coming out of Michigan State. And then
I saw that.
Then they got their leading one of their draft picks. This is a leading receiver with like 300 yards. Good stuff from Michigan State all around. I mean, what a great school. State. What a great school.
Everyone talks about Lambeau Field being this magical place, and sure, it might be, but they're 1-2 at home. I'm not
about to be
buying
with this Packers team.
Right, they're about to be Lambeau. That's a good segment. They're about to be booed. They're 3.5-point favorites. I'm guessing the line is like that because they're assuming Stafford isn't playing. But if you get this at +3 and Stafford ends up playing, like, that's a hell of a play. +142 money line. Hammer that all day if Stafford plays. Yeah, that's about all I got to say. It was a bit much, but I just love talking shit about this Packers team. 4 straight losses in a row. And I mean, these aren't, let's do these losses. These aren't freaking the Bengals and the Chiefs. This is Detroit. Okay, pretty good. Vegas, Denver, and Minnesota. Like, oh, and in the game before that, they only beat the Saints by 1. Like, oh, I just love this. I love the Packers this year. Makes me so happy. Courtney, what do you got in this one? Please tell me you're taking Go Pack Go.
I'm not taking Go Pack Go. I'm going to go with the Rams. I don't hate this Packers team as much as you do. I mean, I think they stink, but like, I'm not going to sit here and drill them. But I did think Lambeau was pretty good. I think, well, one thing that you didn't touch on that I think is important for this game is specifically is this Packers secondary. They kind of stink. Not kind of, they do stink. They're making I'm pretty sure it was Denver. They're making Denver look like a Super Bowl contending team. I'm like, geez Louise, these people suck. And here they are dancing in the end zone. That don't happen if you're in the orange and blue. It just don't. And I think the Rams have some weapons. Puka Puka Nakua and Cooper Kupp, obviously, which I think people are kind of forgetting about him because there's new sheriff in town, and his name's not Cooper Kupp, but not to take anything away from him. I mean, he's obviously a great receiver, but I think this Packers secondary is gonna have a lot of trouble and problems with this Rams offense if Matthew Stafford plays. But even if he doesn't play, I'm still going to go with the Rams. I mean, these Packers.
All right.
I think they're just going to punt the season away.
Right. Team ride, Rams and Packers. Packers just phoning the year, and you can draft a quarterback because Jordan Love isn't it. Actually, matter of fact, stay with Jordan Love. He's a franchise guy. Dylan Love said that it was reported that Montez Sweat was unsure if he wanted to sign with the Bengals.
You just called him Dylan Love.
What?
You just called him Dylan Love. Jordan Love lives rent-free in your head.
He does, man. He does. He said Montez Sweat was unsure if he wanted to sign with the Bears. That's brutal. Anyways, yeah, team ride on that one. Love to see that. Another great game here, Commanders and Patriots. Why don't you get us started here?
I hate the Patriots. They just piss me off so bad. I'm gonna go with the Commanders here because the Commanders.
Oh my gosh.
Because they either it was last week.
This is a bad pick. No. I don't know if I can continue letting you be on the show. I know you hate the Patriots, but are you serious? This Commanders team just traded all their talent.
Yeah, actually, that is true. Oh well, that is why I literally have that in my notes. I kind of forgot about the other guy, but Chase.
They might as well sign me to be the defensive end. I mean, who do they got?
Well, I do have it on here that see you later, Chase Young. That's big. But
and Montez Sweat, like they're both their starting defensive end. No, go ahead.
To be fair, I made this pick before all that happened. So, but this Commanders team with those key defensive players were, keeping up with the Eagles. They were staying in games even though they did get beat by 40 by the Bears. Not by 40, but they got 40 put on them. Oh God, but I freaking hate the Patriots. But this feels.
Go ahead, ride with the Commanders.
Shut up.
You have to. You have to now.
Whatever. I hate the Patriots, so yeah, I will ride with the Commanders. I don't even care. And I hope that they somehow pull out and win this game, and then you're gonna come on here crying next week, and I'm gonna say, the Patriots stink. They're the worst team in the NFL.
Okay. I hear you.
But it's in New England. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I already know.
I hope you prove me wrong. I'm going to go Patriots high confidence pick. It's one of my few high confidence picks this week. It's less about New England, to be honest, and more about what this Commanders team did this week. I mean, they totally dismantled their all their talented players that are healthy. They traded. The only reason their best receiver, or Curtis Samuel, probably didn't get traded because he's questionable, and Terry McLaurin, they probably want somebody to throw the ball to. This team isn't very talented, and the few talented pieces they have, they traded away. Now, don't get me wrong, they have about 2,000 draft picks over this next draft and the draft following. So the future is bright if they change their team name. But look, the Patriots have stunk so bad, but the Commanders just sold their whole franchise away and all their talented players. I mean,
shout out Commanders head coach.
They're basically telling everybody that they are rebuilding. I mean, it's basically the most public, hey, I'm tanking, that it gets. Like, that's about as big as it gets over the next 2 years. They got new ownership. They're considering, or at least I hope they're considering, a rename change, or maybe going back to what they had. They're talking about what are they going to do with their quarterback? Like, I mean, look, this is on the bright side, everyone's probably going to be watching this game for the 1 o'clock slate. It's the dual quarterback, of the century for quarterback position. You got a 13 touchdowns to 8 pick Sam Howell versus a 9 touchdown to 8 pick Mac Jones. I mean, just a total throwdown. Oh, and then it gets even better. The running back position, you have Brian Robinson Jr. and Ramondre Stevenson, 2 guys just lighting up the sheet with less than 400 rushing yards on the year through 9 weeks. This game just blows, man. With that said, very high confidence pick in the Patriots. They're only favored by 3, but betting wise, yeah, I definitely wouldn't touch this game with my money. Dylan said Commanders still have Jonathan Allen, and he thinks Sam Howell will get another legacy game. Well, I mean, for Courtney's sake, I hope that happens. But
for my well-being and mental health,
give me the Patriots. Yeah, just what are we doing here at this game? On to the next. We have, I believe, Seahawks and Ravens. Is that what you have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seahawks and Ravens. Medium confidence pick for me, and I'm going to stick with the AFC North team and the Ravens. Courtney, let's list that. Last 3 weeks, 93 points scored for the Ravens. It's pretty good. So I'm going to ride with them. Zay Flowers is a true number one.
Wait. What?
The last 3 weeks, the Ravens have scored 93 points.
Okay. I thought you said last week. I'm like, that did not happen.
Last 3 weeks, they scored 93 points. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers is a true number one. I think Gus Edwards is a bit underrated. Baltimore O-line's pretty good.
OBJ's crying.
One more crazy stat. Baltimore is first in least points given up per game. First in the entire NFL. I mean, we all know AFC North defenses are pretty credible, let's be honest. Like, they're all really good. But Baltimore first in the entire league in points per game on defense. I did not know that until I looked into the stat. I love this pick. Give me the Ravens. This is going to be a hard, gritty game. I mean, you got two teams that want to run the ball, open up, maybe take some shots downfield. That you got guys like Zay Flowers, DK Metcalf. Seahawks will probably air it out 50 yards and then get 15 yards back with DK. But that's kind of your play on that. So I'll kind of keep you to be able to talk about that. Good game. 5-2 Seahawks, 6-2 Ravens. Give me the birds, as in the Raven bird beats the Seahawk bird. So, Courtney, which bird are you flying with this week?
I'm gonna fly with the Ravens. They're
Nice.
hot right now. They're just kicking ass, taking names, embarrassing people out there where they really are. And I'm just really upset with DK Metcalf and the Seahawks right now. Yes, they got me a win last week. They beat the Browns. To not my surprise, but what was my surprise was that DK Metcalf was actually on his P's and Q's and was on good behavior for him. And that really disappointed me because, I was really looking forward to a meltdown, at least one play where he throws somebody else to the ground for no reason. I was just really hoping for that. That did not happen for me. Really wasted my time to even watch that game. Definitely tuned into the Bengals and 49ers instead of watching that nightmare. So I'm just going with the Ravens. I mean, there's really not much else to say. Other than that, I'm just really disappointed in DK Metcalf, and you had one job. And you had me out here all excited about this game for no reason. So thanks a lot.
Team ride with the Ravens. Like to see it. All right. Well, that takes us to our next one. We got the Bucks and the Texans, two teams we've kind of both rode with a lot this year as dogs. But when they play each other, they one of them can't be a dog here. So this was a tough game for me, just because, like I said, we've rode with both these teams as dogs a lot, and I mean, you see the records; it's worked out pretty well for us. And this one, the Texans are at home; they are favored by 2.5. I'm going to ride with them. As much as I want to take the value, and I do think it's good value if you take the Buccaneers +3 if you can get it there. I just like the Texans here. I think the defense is underrated. I've been saying that. And it sounds like Baker is kind of playing through some injury issues, which is like nothing new. I feel like his whole career we've said that for some reason. Look, the Bucs are on a cold streak. They've lost 3 in a row, and I think it continues while they're on the road. Look, CJ Stroud, 9 touchdowns to 1 pick on the year. even him being a rookie, I think he makes less mistakes than the veteran quarterback in Baker Mayfield. With, the Bucks have a way more talented offense than CJ Stroud does. I mean, it's not even close. So, I really like Texans here, but for betting sake, +3 with the Bucks is, I think, great value. So, that's for the choice for you to make. But give me the rookie at home. Texans are 2-1 at home. I like it. Give me CJ Stroud. Courtney, are you riding with Baker and the Bucks?
No, I'm not. I rode with them, I think, like 2-3 weeks in a row, and I've lost every single time.
That's right.
I am pretty sick of Baker and the Bucks. I'm pretty sick of saying Baker and the Bucks. It's catchy, but now it just pisses me off.
I thought I could get you one more week. I thought you were going to give me one more win ahead of you for another week.
No.
I think that's 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting on their part. It's ridiculous. They should have won some of those games, but I digress.
I mean, 24-18 with the Bills, 16-13 with Atlanta. I mean, those are competitive games, but
that's what I'm saying. It just pisses me off, and they are the reason that I should take a grippy sock vacation. And I don't have any problem saying that. Behind the Steelers offense, they're a real close second to my list of reasons why I have taken a grippy sock vacation. Probably should not say that online. But whatever. Let's not clip that. Let's not do that.
All right.
But anyway, I'm gonna go with the Texans here. Give me CJ Stroud. Miss you at Ohio State. I'll say it every week. Miss you. Love you. You're better.
And I love, as a Ohio State just
hater,
disgusted person, when they asked him about the Michigan game, about them signing, he's like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not a Buckeye no more. I was like, yeah. Like, I look so bad for Ohio State fans trying to like him, and then they're asking him what do you think about them signs too? And he's like, it is what it is, man. It's in the past. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm a Houston Texan now.
That's really great for you, CJ, that it is in the past, because you weren't doing too hot against Michigan, so that's probably why he had that answer. So you know what? For that alone, kiss my ass. But other than that, love you. We'll still love you.
Fair enough. Hey, he's a good man. He's a religious man. I respect him. So
I saw him at the Memorial Tournament. So nice guy.
Okay.
Nice guy.
I see you.
Thanks.
All right. And so the next one we got okay, where are we at? Cardinals and Browns. Just beautiful matchup here. Quarterback fight for the ages in this one as well. Why do I feel like in this year more than years in recent past are there so many injured quarterbacks? What is going on? Every week we have 3 or 4 games where there's backup quarterback versus backup quarterback. Anyways, the 1-7 Cardinals and the 4-3 Browns. A battle for the ages in Cleveland. I'm sure it's going to be pretty chilly if I had to guess. This game is very, very low confidence pick for me. And I'm riding with the AFC North team and the Browns. Look, it's been funny because for weeks we've been talking about how much of a joke this Browns quarterback situation is a joke. But this Cardinals situation might even be more of a joke, to be honest. Look, the coach flat out came out and was like, Dobbs benched. A few days later, traded. So they have Clayton Tune, or they had someone they paid a couple $100 million is his name. He's that midget. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that, but he's that short guy. Kyler Murray. Yeah.
Gee.
The guy that plays a lot of Call of Duty. Yeah, so Kyler Murray, anyways. How long has he been injured? How long has he been injured for? I mean, they were saying that he was coming back week 4, and then week 5, and then week 7, and then week 8. Now we're week 9, and then what is it, Wednesday? They haven't announced a starter. They just said it'll be Clayton Tune or Kyler Murray. Dude, you got to come out and give a date when your quarterback is ready. I don't get the situation. I'm totally not confident in that whole situation. I seriously don't get it. With or without Kyler Murray, give me the Browns. I honestly think they shouldn't play Kyler Murray here because, I mean, you want his return week against the Browns defense? I don't know about that. Yeah. Same thing with the Browns, their quarterback situation. Like, hello, Deshaun Watson, didn't you, like, get paid, like, $300 million? Like, what are you doing? Like,
Didn't you get cleared like 4 weeks ago? I mean,
yeah, I know his shoulder's hurt, so I'm sure he's getting a ton of massages, but, like, how long does it take? So, I'm just kidding.
shout out Brady Quinn.
So, Courtney, who are you taking here? You taking the Brownies, or are you taking in the Birds, the Red Birds?
I'm also I'm gonna ride with the AFC North team here and go with the Browns. This Cardinals team pisses me off because I want to root for these people. I really do. I don't hate the Cardinals by any stretch of the imagination. But now I like their old head coach better than their new one. This guy stinks. Comes out and he's like, "Oh, Josh Dobbs not playing." They're like, "Oh, why?" "Oh, I just watched the tape," and he's just not. Are we watching different tape here? I mean, whatever.
It doesn't make sense. And then to announce that and then not have Kyler Murray ready, like, what are you doing? You say that and say, "Oh, it's because, our starting quarterback, we paid $300 million, Kyler Murray." It's because he's ready. But it's not that. It's, oh, he might be ready, or it might be Clayton Tune. Like, I don't get that.
And their offseason was a dumpster fire coming into the season. So it's just like, what is going on? Buda Baker, who is probably my favorite Cardinal behind James Conner, they both got to get out of there. I mean, they have got to get out of there. They are tanking with this team. The Browns secondary didn't look too hot towards the end of last week's game, but again, you're playing the Cardinals, so I mean,
Is Clayton Tune going to be throwing the ball? Like, or Kyler Murray that hasn't thrown a football in a year?
Is James Conner back and playing? I have no idea because I haven't been watching Cardinals games because why would I do that?
I have no idea about James Conner, but he's not that game-changing anyway, so.
Okay, that's rude. He's a cancer survivor, you prick.
What's that have to do with him playing football right now? I know he survived cancer.
Yeah, well, if he
has an injury right now to deal with.
Okay, well, if he can survive cancer, I think he can run in the end zone for a couple touchdowns. Okay, let me just say that.
I mean, has he this year? I don't think he has.
He's been injured. Okay. No, I don't think he's back yet. He's supposed to be back soon. I don't know.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But I'm saying, like, that is a a singular positive for this Cardinals offense because, I mean, who they throwing the ball
to? I mean, James Conner isn't even that good of a receiving back, I don't think. Is he?
He gets the job done.
Okay.
Nonetheless.
All right. Anything else about this game?
But also James Conner, he's a Steeler. He has a lot of experience against this Browns team. So I mean, if I want to throw the ball at anybody,
true. I'll give that one to you.
So thanks.
So then you're riding with the Cardinals. It sounds like.
No, I'm going with the Browns because
you sure you don't want to switch your pick?
Oh yeah, because James Conner's not playing, and even if one guy's not going to change the outcome of a game, and there's a dumpster fire. I can't stand their coach, Kyler Murray.
I mean, I can't wait for Kyler Murray to return and him and James Conner just come back and make the playoffs. I can't wait.
For them, I hope that happens for them. But James Conner and Kyler Murray are going to be battling for who has more rushing yards, and it's just ridiculous. Like, throw the effing ball, but whatever. Anyway, that's it.
All right. On
AFC
to our
North
4 o'clock.
Baby.
You said what?
AFC North football, baby.
That is what it is nowadays. 4 o'clock games over here on the East Coast. Colts and Panthers.
What a good game.
This game to be another just incredible game. Just Gardner Minshew. We love watching Gardner Minshew play, not Anthony Richardson. So, this anytime I pick Colts every week, it just hurts.
You know what? Really quickly, before we move on to the 4 o'clock games, I forgot to mention my Toy Story pick of the week.
Okay, did we miss it?
Yeah, we did. It was the Bears and Saints. That's a good Toy Story game.
Honestly, there's a couple games this week, like the game we
Cardinals,
just talked
Cardinals,
about, like
Browns,
Cardinals, Browns.
Commanders, Patriots. That's my Toy Story game of the week.
I mean, seriously, there's like literally maybe 5 games that are contenders for our Toy Story game of the week. Just a really tough week. But with that said, we have some good primetime games, so I can't complain too much. But
anyway, back to Colts and Panthers.
Colts and Panthers, it just really sucks because I love this Colts team. I said it coming into the year. I was like, Anthony Richardson's a freaking superstar. You know, Zach Moss came out of nowhere, but then they're like, we're going to sign Jonathan Taylor. Then they sign him and pay him, and they barely use him. Like, I don't get that situation. Michael Pittman, they have some good guys. Just a very interesting team to watch. Richardson goes down. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to ride with the Colts here with Gardner Minshew. Look, if you like scoring, you should watch this game because listen to this stat. Colts are 32nd in points per game given up, aka last, and the Panthers are 30th in points per game given up. That is second from last.
Who's 31st? Denver?
Huh?
Who's 31st? Denver?
I think Denver.
Okay.
Just because they gave up 1,000 points from one game, but they're averaging it out with a couple of past games. But yeah, so if you like defense, close your eyes because this won't be the game where you'll get a lot of defense most likely. So that means I got to pick whichever offense I like more. And this might be disrespectful to the rookie Bryce Young, but I like the Colts offense more. I don't know. I can't tell you why. I think this is a bad pick. I won't be putting money on this pick, but yeah, give me the Colts on the road. Now, I think you're on the other side of this because Panthers just won. You know, they could start building some momentum here, get to their second straight win. But I don't care. Give me the Colts on the road. Are you riding with the Panthers here? Because I have a feeling you are.
Shout out to Bryce Young and the Panthers getting your first win and getting me a win last week.
That was big time.
Yeah. Now, with that said, I'm going with the Colts.
You're gonna ride with them again this week.
No, I'm gonna ride with the Colts because I still think the Panthers stink. But I just thought that last week against another rookie quarterback and against that, it was just a perfect. The stars aligned for them. That was their week to get a win. They'll probably get another one for the end of the season. I don't know, but I like this Colts team better. And the Colts are competing with far better teams than these bums. So no disrespect to Bryce Young. Number 1 overall pick in the draft. Not doing what CJ Stroud's doing, though. So
Parlay Dave in the chat said Panthers stink. Texans Texan the last game. Indy 2.5 and over, easiest money. I mean, let's look at the over here.
I'm crying because I didn't read the whole thing, and my dad's name's Dave, so I'm like, what is my dad doing here right now?
Hey, shout out to Pops in chat.
That's not my dad, though.
Hey, shout out to Pops in chat.
Maybe it is. I don't know. That'd be crazy if it was.
Yeah, I mean, 44. I agree with you on that. The over should hit, and Indy 2.5. I'm not touching either team here, but for my pick sake, I'm gonna ride. I mean, 2.5 is the line you want. So
he says it's the easiest money, so you might be making a mistake right there, not putting your money.
Maybe we add a parlay Dave up here at the top, and start tracking his record too. Parlay Dave, I hope you cash that. Let's get into our next one here. Giants heading to Las Vegas.
Oh, this right here is the Toy Story game. I mean, there's just so many this week.
Oh, in Las Vegas, you could have such a beautiful Toy Story game. Courtney, who do you have for this one?
Woody can go to the casino after.
Right.
Or actually, Andy.
You go to Bellagio and blow all his money.
I'm going with the Giants here. And I never thought we would come to the day where I am picking the Giants to win a game because I cannot stand these fools. I keep coming on here saying that.
You tell me Daniel Jones 2 touchdowns and 6 picks is not good? Is that what you're telling me right now?
I come on here every stream and I say that the Giants might be the worst team in the NFL. It used to be you throwing out the worst team in the NFL card. Now it's me. I'm like constantly calling somebody.
Darren Waller, leading receiver. That's not impressive to you?
He's not even playing.
Or what about Saquon only having one touchdown on the year?
And Darren Waller's not even playing this week. I just saw that. He probably planned to not play this week because Josh McDaniels was going to be there and he like ruined his wedding or something like that. There was like that whole thing that happened. But yeah, I'm going with the Giants. The Raiders are an absolute dumpster fire right now. Devontae Adams did not get to go to New York like it was rumored to be, which that would have been crazy. I mean, whatever. Aaron Rodgers would have returned, and then his guy would have been Devontae. I mean, what a great time. But nope, didn't happen for anybody. I'm going to go with the Giants because I just think that they kind of catch some lucky breaks. And this happens to be a really lucky break because the Raiders not only have an interim head coach, they have an interim GM, and nobody wants to be there. So what a good time to be a New York Giant.
Courtney, call me crazy, but I'm also riding with the Giants here. If Saquon plays, if Saquon doesn't play, I'm out and I'm on the Raiders. Look, he's the Lord and Savior of New York right now for the Giants. You know, actual Lord and Savior is Aaron Rodgers. I mean, come on, we know this already. But
he's my Lord and Savior as a new Jets fan. Yep.
Darren Waller questionable, Saquon questionable. I mean, I'm still worried about Waller because, like I said, he's the leading receiver, which is just like, wow. I mean, just crazy. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. The Raiders, like, what are we doing here? Fire the coach, fire the GM. Garoppolo isn't playing. I believe Brian Hoyer. They're talking about Brian Hoyer getting the start, which if Brian Hoyer does get the start, I will definitely ride with the Giants, even if Saquon's out. So a bit of an if here. It's Wednesday, so it's hard to tell if you're watching this post-production. Yeah, give me the Giants if Saquon's playing and if Garoppolo's out, even if Saquon isn't playing.
Yeah, I think Parlay Dave is going to go with the Raiders here. He said, check the stats on team records after head coaches are fired. Players actually ball out.
And that is very, very true. That's a good stat right there.
Parlay Dave might be on to something.
Do they ball if their quarterback is Brian Hoyer? I got to disagree there. Now, like Devontae's due, obviously. I mean, Josh Jacobs, hello. Yeah. You were like the best running back, like maybe a year or two ago, top 3 in the league. Where are you? I bring that up week in and week out. Like, damn, Josh Jacobs is so disappointing right now. This whole Raiders franchise is disappointing. I'm glad I'm not a Raiders fan. I'm a fan of 2 teams that aren't Super Bowl winners of ever. So it is what it is. I can't speak too much being a Bengals and Vikings fan, but yeah, I hear you, Dave, and I agree with that stat. But if the Raiders are just going to bench Garoppolo, like, dude, you're telling me I'm going to bet money with Brian Hoyer? Like, I just can't. And if you're like us and you like the Giants, plus 1.5 right now, like, I honestly can't believe the Raiders are favored. But I'm glad I don't make lines because I don't know who I would put as a favorite.
True, but let me correct you there. I don't like this pick, okay? I don't like the Giants, okay? I don't like anything about this Toy Story bananas, terrible, horrible game. You know what? Why isn't this prime time? This seems right up the NFL's alley to make a prime time game.
Night vibes.
This is giving me a 7:15 on ESPN. This is what that's giving me. No hate to ESPN, though. If anyone from ESPN is watching this, I know
we love ESPN. We love CBS and Fox. We love all of you.
All of you equally. But yeah, I mean, oh geez, I can't even talk about this game anymore. We're gonna move on. I can't stand it. It hurts.
Parlay Dave is going to fade us.
You know what, Parlay Dave? I hope you should parlay the Colts and the Raiders on the same ticket.
Do it. Money line. Oh yes. Okay. The actual good 4:00 game here. Cowboys and Eagles. This should be fun. I love a game like this because I don't like either franchise, so I hope it ends in a draw. And but I got to choose somebody here. And 81 and 41, I want to hit 90 this week. So I need to start picking some correct choices here. And I feel like I have the right one here. And that's going to be the Cowboys. Let's go. Cowboys +3. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Cowboys have won 4 of the last 5 matchups against the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is overrated. The Cowboys defense will give him some issues. And if you like props, Jalen Hurts interception, cash it, cash it, cash it. Everyone gives Dak problems with throwing picks, right? Everyone, even me, we always trash Dak about throwing interceptions. Let's look at the stats. Dak Prescott, 10 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Jalen Hurts, 13 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. So who are we really talking about here? And he arguably has currently the best receiver in the league in A.J. Brown. He also has Devontae Smith. I mean, look at the weapons he has. Look, I've been riding with the Eagles a ton this year, and they have helped me out big time. And I know Kyle and everyone else in the chat is like, Drew, how are you picking the Cowboys?
I think Parlay Dave might be mad at us. I think Parlay Dave might not like that about putting the Colts and the Raiders on the same ticket. I don't think he likes it.
But like Dave said, this is a props game. Get your props, get your props. This is the one here. I think an interception for both quarterback is money. A lot, touchdowns you can look at. I mean, receiving yards. You're going to have CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Smith. I mean, I like receptions on DeAndre Swift. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can go. If you touch this game, it should probably be with the props. Have a little fun. But for our sake of picking every game of every week, give me the Cowboys. I just think they go to Philadelphia. I hope Meek Mill is there. And they play dreams and nightmares as they walk out with a loss to the Cowgirls. Give it to me. Courtney, I'm assuming you're on the other side here.
I like your pick.
Whoa! Are you serious? No. We're not on the same side here.
But I raise you the Philadelphia Eagles and their fan base. So I'm going with the Eagles.
Oh, I thought we had something going for a second.
No, I'm sorry. I will take Jalen Hurts over Dak Prescott any day. I know that the stats, well, don't lie, whatever. Okay. Jalen Hurts, 5 of those picks were against the Jets defense, okay? And I know that the Cowboys played the Jets, but they beat the Jets, but NFL math doesn't math, okay? And the Cowboys got lucky and played the Jets week 2 when poor little Zach Wilson was like, oh my God, my life is terrible. I have to be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. What a terrible turn of events. We don't blame the Jets for what happened there, okay? So I'm going to go with the Eagles. This is not a high confidence pick. I thought about going with the Cowboys at first. I really, truly did. And I thought about it probably 2 minutes before we even started talking about this game. So I'm like, oh, geez. But I'm going to go with the Eagles. We know I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I really like his receiving core, and I just and Philadelphia is a really tough place to play. There's fan bases, one of the fan bases in the NFL where they do have a big part of their game. So for all those reasons, I'm going to go with the Eagles. Low confidence pick here. Wouldn't be surprised if I lost this one. I'll say that.
I hear you. I truly hear you. But I call me a Cowboys fan, but I have Brock Purdy in fantasy, and he went up against my
Jerry
Bengals
Jones
last
and America's
week.
team supporter over here, guys.
Listen. I have Brock Purdy on fantasy. He was playing my Bengals last week. At one point, concussion protocol, nobody plays. Somehow Goodell said 49ers, and he's concussion gone. Somehow he plays the Bengals, and he looks terrible. Anyway, so long story short, I benched him, picked up Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott threw for like 4 or 5 touchdowns. So shout out Dak. So made me happy there. But I'm rolling with them again here in fantasy. I just have a feeling. But look, like I had up on the screen, I would ride with Dave here. Like, this is a game for props. Piece together a few, get a nice parlay, and have some fun with it. But best man, best woman wins here. I mean, If you like the Cowboys +3 or Eagles -3, like this game is just hard to tell. It's a divisional game, right?
6 differences right now. 6 games where we are not picking the same team.
6 games. This is your week, Courtney. This is your week to catch up. This is your week. This has got to be your week, because if not, and I got the greater side of that, it's gonna start getting ugly.
It's
gonna start getting ugly. But yeah, this should be a fun game nonetheless. I'm really excited for this. So well, that takes us into a game I'm even more excited for. Sunday Night Football. Yeah, we get a rematch of the game that didn't get finished last year. The Buffalo Bills traveling to Cincinnati to take on my Cincinnati Bengals. And this is my lock of the week, my most high confident pick of the week. Last week, it was the Bengals against the 49ers. I said, lock it in, strap your seatbelt. Joe Burrow's back, baby. Joe Burrow is back. And the Bengals are the streakiest team in the NFL. When they are cold, they are ice, baby. But when they are warm, it's hot. It is hot, and those boys are playing right now. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals and the points on Sunday Night Football. I love it. I truly do. Look, this Bills team, has been a really tough team to follow this year. Don't get me wrong, Josh Allen and the rest of this very talented team, look, they can put up points, and they can put up points quick, but so can the Bengals. And when Joe Burrow is playing his best football, they are so hard to beat, and sure, you could argue that to the other side. I mean, this game should be so fun, and let's just hope it gets through 4 quarters. Like, please give me a full game. Apparently, Joe Mixon is questionable.
You just couldn't help yourself. You just could not help yourself. You are
Look,
real.
we all know the Bengals would have won last year, but I'm just going to leave it at that. Joe Mixon's questionable. Orlando Brown is questionable. Trey Hendrickson is questionable. I live in Cincinnati. I didn't even know about any of those until now, so that's a little concerning, but it doesn't matter because we got Joe Burrow. Looks like Josh Allen is questionable. I saw that on Twitter. Looks like they got a couple other questionable players.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say it like that. Who they?
Oh, my God. Wait, I
beat
didn't even get it at first. You're the worst human being.
Are you looking at their injury report?
You are a horrible human being.
Who they? Give me the Cincinnati Bengals. Courtney, tell me, you're hating on the Bengals. You're a Steelers fan. You are confident the Bills are going to go into Cincinnati and get the win. Let me hear it.
I'm going to continue my streak with the AFC North teams, and I'm going with the Bengals to win this game.
The AFC North is so good. How is it not the best division in football?
I have picked every single AFC North team all day to win all their games this weekend, except you didn't because you're an ass and didn't pick the Steelers.
Bills are 1-2 on the road. Like, what are we doing here?
Well, now I've come on here. I had a whole rant last week about the Buffalo Bills, and if I opened up a dictionary right now, flip to the word fraudulence, it would be a picture of the Buffalo Bills team. It pisses me off. All we keep hearing about the past 4 years is the Bills are winning the Super Bowl. Bills are winning the Super Bowl. Maybe in the AFC Championship, and then maybe I'll jump on that train, but I don't think it's going to happen for you boys. I just don't. Especially if Josh Allen's questionable. Let's face your organization right there. He's not going to be on the field. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. It's probably going to be one of the Brock Purdy situations where he's questionable. He's probably not going to play. Oh, but where do you know? There he is, coming to ruin everybody's day. Douglas in the comment section, don't even start with me. That is obviously, first of all, that's crazy. I've been on here all season, and we're just now gonna address the.
Must be his first week. Welcome to the show. It's too bad you missed it. I'm 81 and 41 on picks, but welcome. Better late than never.
Anyway, I'm gonna continue.
I want to touch on this comment real quick. Dave says Bengals defense is questionable.
Dave is not happy with us. Dave,
I hear you on this. But to combat that, I mean, the Bengals defense is really the only reason the Bengals have won games outside of last week this whole year. I mean, the Bengals offense has been garbage this whole season outside of last week. That was the first week all season where they had a full, 4 quarters. It's only the second time this year they scored 30 points, and maybe I sound a little bit ignorant by saying that, but the Bengals usually can score 30 points pretty easily. That sounds really ignorant. Maybe I shouldn't word it like that. I could probably word it very better. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of disagree. Like, I feel like the defense is the biggest reason we've won some of these games we've won. I mean, look what they did to Purdy. I know people are saying Purdy's a bit of a fraud. Maybe Purdy was still concussed. But sure, they gave up 20 to Arizona.
Hey, shout out the Bengals for getting me a
They gave up
win last
27 to the Titans, but that game was a fluke. Burrow threw like 20 interceptions that game and like 4 fumbles. So that's what I would say to combat that. Once again, I'm biased. I'm a Bengals fan, so take it how you will.
I feel all right.
This is a good one. I saw this one. Matt Can's reaction the week he has to play Lou in a row. That's a good one.
Listen, here's the thing, Kyle. I come on here every week and I say Matt Canada stinks. I'm sick of it. The Steelers offense is going to send me on a grippy sock vacation. Okay, Kyle, and you're not helping. Not to trauma dump on you, but I'm about to if you keep up this.
Keep it up.
If you keep up this
you will get a Twitter DM with just messages and words you would not want to ever read without having to go see a therapist. So we'll move on. What are your thoughts on this one? I know you said you're riding with the AFC North, but you really think the Bengals can pull this one out?
I do, and I am going to stand on and die on the hill where if I look up in the dictionary the word fraudulence, the Buffalo Bills is what you're going to see there. And
in your book it says the Bills. In my book it says the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a bit frauds.
In your book it says Jordan Love because he lives rent free in your head.
In my book, once upon a time, a few years ago, Twitter was convinced that Tua Tagovailoa was a better quarterback than Joe Burrow. You remember those days? Everybody was Tua is better than Burrow. Tua is better than Burrow. Yeah.
I'm sure you have something smart to say about Tua playing in Cincinnati too. I'm sure you do. Because you're just a horrible human being.
Hey, I like Tua. He's like me, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. Maybe
he does, yeah.
Some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I could put him in armbar or guillotine or something. I like him. He rolls BJJ because he wants to help fall back and catch himself.
He's dude. Leave Tua alone.
Tua is a great guy.
Tua's been through a lot. Okay, shout out Cincinnati Medical Center for all they've done.
Hey, Cincinnati, baby, we've been getting it done since Antonio Brown. Well, he was kind of a failed experiment. He kind of slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, that's not a good one. But shout out Cincinnati Medical Center, UC Hospital for Ryan Shazier. Great work, guys.
True.
Never thought the man was going to walk again. We love Ryan Shazier on the stream.
Isn't he like lifting like thousands of pounds again or some shit like that?
Probably. The guy's just sick. What?
I don't know. This whole topic, like Antonio Brown, Steelers, Bengals. Why is it like Bengals, like Paycor Stadium, aka Paul Brown Stadium, is just like cursed? It's so bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play there. I've been, but I will say I've been there once. And I did not hate the stadium. I thought it was pretty nice, and I prefer it far better than Cleveland Stadium. Cleveland Stadium sucks.
Yeah, same with Ohio State's. What do they call that place?
The Shoe. How dare you?
The Shoe.
I
thought they called it the Boot or something. When's the last time Ohio State beat Michigan?
When's the last time that the Bengals won a Super Bowl? Okay.
I will say this: Ohio State's #1 in the country right now. Yeah, Kansas.
Hey, shout out Maserati Mar.
Hold on, the Kansas Jayhawks. They're top 25. I got my jersey.
Hey, you know what? I'm happy for you in Kansas. Unlike you, I'm not a hater. You just
I'm not a hater, but you pick the worst, the most toxic, like annoying fan base in the entire country, and that's the Buckeyes.
Well, first of all, I didn't pick it. If you're born in Columbus, you don't pick. You are.
I mean, you're a Steelers fan.
I also didn't pick that. My it's generations.
I would rather have a conversation with a Steelers fan over a Ohio State Buckeye fan.
Well, unfortunately for you, you have a conversation with both of those.
And I don't even like Michigan either.
I
But
thought you were saying I don't even like you. And I was about to be like, that is
but when
crazy.
Michigan and Ohio State play each other, it's the M all day. It's the blue.
Yeah, well, you're
Anyways.
embarrassing. You're embarrassing.
We have one more game to get to.
I hate that I'm.
We are on a team ride for Who Day. Let me get a Who Day in the chat. Let's make some money with the Bengals.
No, I won't go that far. I won't go that far, but I will ride with the Bengals this week. Shout out Cincinnati Bengals.
Shout out. She wished Joe Burrow was her team's quarterback. All right, on to Monday Night Football.
That was uncalled for.
We got a steaming hot segment here because we have our favorite team this year where we've made a lot of good bets on this team. That is the New York Jets, but another primetime game for them, which, everybody else complains about. But here on DCTV, we love it. We wish they played Monday night every Monday night. They got a tough one, though. They got the Chargers and Justin Herbert, who, is just so beloved by Courtney. But he's got to go up against that nasty Jets defense. And I'm really intrigued here, Courtney. Who are you riding with? Because I was thinking, you've been talking up the Jets all year as your team. And I was like, okay, I can ride with that. And I have a lot. And they've made us a lot of good bets. But this is a tough call with the high-powered offense. Well, when they, the Chargers are going to Charger. But, you like Jay Herbo, you like the Jets defense. You got to pick somebody, though. And I'm just really intrigued. Who is it?
Yeah, and before we get too far, I know there's a couple new faces on here. I am a Steelers fan. Stop. I actually okay. The sad part is, Kyle's, I don't disagree with you, but whatever. I digress. Okay. So I am a Steelers fan. So before anybody says, oh, she's a fake Steelers fan, no, I'm not. Okay. I have 17 jerseys hung up right here. I'm just not going to get them because I'm lazy. But I love Justin Herbert. I think he is a good quarterback, and I think he deserves better coaching. But you know who I love more than Justin Herbert? Aaron motherfucking Rodgers. Okay? And this Jets team. I know Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be there. I am riding with the Jets. Jets, Jets. Take flight all the way. I am a huge bandwagon Jets fan. For Aaron Rodgers and their defense, the Chargers cannot afford any terrible play calling. They cannot afford terrible decisions on 4th and longs. Oh, we're just going to go for it in our own territory just because we feel like it and it seems silly. We're not going to do that this week against this Jets defense. It's never going to work. Although I would take Justin Herbert over Zach Wilson. Even though I don't hate Zach Wilson as much as anybody else does, but I still prefer Justin Herbert. Heard he's dating a reporter for one of the Chargers reporters. I was like,
he's a very quiet guy. I did not see that at all. I did not see that happening at all.
But, no, I didn't either. But yeah,
scoring on and off the field, I guess.
That's it doesn't surprise me that he's doing that because he's a good quarterback. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Kyle. I want Aaron Rodgers to come back so bad because I am an Aaron Rodgers stan. I am a stan. There is no quarterback ever that I like more than Aaron Rodgers.
Look,
I like Aaron Rodgers more than Tom Brady.
I might be the first Vikings Aaron Rodgers fan stan. Put that down in history. I might be the first. Of course, I love my Vikings, but I'm a big fan of Aaron Rodgers, and I'm so glad he's not in Green Bay anymore because look who is Jordan Love.
Let's all just stay tuned because Drew knows this because I sent him a link yesterday that I'm going to be purchasing an Aaron Rodgers t-shirt, and I will be worn on the stream at some point this season. I don't know when. I'm just going to leave that up in the air because here's the thing: I was going to get a Jets shirt with the number 8 on it, but I'm like, I cannot allow myself to wear another team's shirt. So I'm just going to get an Aaron Rodgers shirt. So There's my take. Jets take flight.
I love your pick,
Thank
and I
you.
love the Jets because they have, like I said, they've helped DCTV a lot. But I hate my pick because of it, because I'm taking the Chargers.
Oh, you're disgusting.
And I know it's a low confidence pick, but this is just a bad matchup for the Jets, in my opinion. Look, this Jets defense has got to play lights out per usual. They got to get some turnovers. And more specifically, they have to outcoach the Chargers, which is very well possible. I think we all can agree on. But I just think it's going to be very hard to outscore the Chargers. I think it's pretty easy for the Chargers to hit that 20-point mark, if not more. I think it's very hard for the Jets to do so. I hate this pick. I really hate this pick. I might switch it. I might switch
hate
it.
you. I don't know. I might. I definitely hate
It's
this pick. I'm borderline thinking about hating you. I don't know. You've said a lot of really unnecessary things today. You've been really toxic today. So,
well, hear me out. 13 touchdowns to 4 picks is pretty decent. I don't know. I believe Eckler's fully healthy, which obviously benefits the Chargers. Keenan Allen has had a great year. But the Jets really got to get Breece Hall going. Garrett Wilson's phenomenal. I love Garrett Wilson. I think he's super underrated. I couldn't imagine the year he would have if Rodgers would have stayed healthy.
Shout out Ohio State Buckeyes.
Look, Wilson, 5 touchdowns, 5 picks. Like, we all know what we're getting with him at this point.
This guy's awesome.
Which is not much.
This guy's awesome. I don't know what you mean. That's lying. That's not.
At the end of the day, the Jets defense and special teams have to play near perfect to pull this one off. Look, it's a 3-point line, Jets +3. I don't hate it. I truly don't hate it. But I thought the Chargers would have been favored by a little more, to be honest. I know they're 3-4, and Jets are they're 4-3. They have the better record. But I mean, let's be honest. Without Aaron Rodgers, this Chargers team is more talented, in my opinion. Bit of a hot take. Might not be a hot take, but it might be more of a warm take. But look, we both like Justin Herbert. If he loses to Zach Wilson and the Jets, and they're already 3-4, I mean, I just think in the perspective that for the Chargers, this is a must-win. If you lose this, you drop down to 3-5. And this is one of those games in prime time they're looking at like, dude, we gotta win this one, even if it's on the road. If they lose here, I don't know how that head coach doesn't get fired. They've lost to the Dolphins, they lost to the Titans, they lost to the Cowboys, they lost to the Chiefs. Outside of the Titans, those are good teams.
Titans without Will Levis.
Right. Those are pretty good losses. If a loss can be a good thing, but I mean, after this week, they have the Lions, Packers, easy win. And then the Ravens, and then they got Broncos, Raiders, should be able to win those games. But then you finish the year with Bills and Chiefs. That's, they get some winnable games. They get a few, but they have a lot harder teams than the Jets coming up. Like, I just feel like this is a must win for the Chargers. So give me the Chargers. I like the Jets, but not this week for me. But I will be rooting for the Jets. I will be, in hopes I get this one pick wrong and you get one pick closer to me. So
that pick just made us 7-7 on the week. We have 7 of the same, 7 we disagree on. That is the most out of the entire season that we have disagreed on. 7 games.
Wow. Courtney, this is a big week.
Yeah, maybe if you weren't so toxic, then we could have been agreeing on more stuff. But you're on today. But it's okay.
Coming off our best week, this will be followed up by one of us having a bad week.
Yeah.
So I went, what did I say, 14-2 last week.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the week where I go 7-7.
That wouldn't even be your worst week. That would not even be your worst week. So, because you went 6-7 like 2 weeks ago.
I went 6-7 2 weeks ago, and I'm almost 10 full games ahead of you. That's crazy.
Well, I went 5-8 that same week.
One thing I'll say, let's enjoy these primetime games this week, because next week we get started off with a Thursday night banger. Panthers heading to Chicago to take on the Bears.
Shout out. This seems like a good time to.
No, hear me out, Courtney. And then the morning game, I guess the Germany game, Colts at Patriots. So that's the 9:30 game Sunday morning. Oh, and then you know what the Sunday night game is?
Giants?
Jets going to Raiders. And then the Monday night game, Broncos at Bills. Those are the primetime games. Oh, those are the primetime games next week. So, please, everybody, enjoy these primetime games this week, because next week it is brutal. Leave a like on the stream, hit the subscribe button, join the family, join my Discord, follow our socials. I've been uploading all the clips of all the games to our socials, so you guys can follow and tail along. So we had a question. Is that a fantasy question? He's nuts. Welcome to the stream. Send Flowers. I have Zay Flowers on my bench, okay. And James Cook for Adams. Obviously Devontae Adams is the better player than Flowers and James Cook.
That's a really nice picture. These nuts. That's a really nice.
With the quarterback situation in Vegas, it's a tough pool. If you have depth at running back, I would say yes. If you don't have depth at running back, then I wouldn't. Douglas said, solid primetime games. Of course. Only the best here in the National Football League.
So pause. Douglas, are you a Jags fan from your profile picture? So if you are,
is that a Jaguar or a Bengal?
Bengals have stripes, idiot. Those are spots. I just would like to say, shout out
Roll the stripes.
Shout out the Jacksonville Jaguars for being the most disrespectful team ever. For just yanking away Steelers fans. Terrible towels. That was just rude as hell.
I love that. That was beautiful.
That was disgusting. Because Nick,
beautiful.
The hardworking people of Pittsburgh now have to go buy a new towel. So thanks a fucking lot. Thanks a lot.
Well, that's what they get for supporting the Steelers and supporting Matt Canada.
No, I'm telling you.
Hold on.
Not a single Steelers
I had to bring this up.
Not a Steelers fan supports Matt Canada.
Listen. Did you see the clip where Matt Canada's at the press conference and the phone drops off the stand? He's like, "Oh, I didn't touch it, but someone's gonna blame me anyway." I was like,
did you on the Pat McAfee show yesterday? Like the Steelers guy on the show dressed up as Matt Canada, but painted himself red and had horns sticking out of his Steelers hat as he was Matt Canada as the devil. I was like, Jesus. Okay, all right, Doug. So you're a Jags fan, right?
Yeah, jag off.
That was really toxic of you. Oh no, he's a Bengals fan, but he has a Jaguar as his thing. Well, that's
he's undercover.
I see.
Well, I was gonna say, I think I picked the Jags, right? Do we team ride the Jags?
No, they're not playing this week.
They're not playing this week. Well, they've been playing really good so far.
Yeah, well, you guys deserve your break.
Bengals fans since the dark days. Same here, bruv. Well, I'm only 21. It might have gotten darker before that, but anyways.
Well, these nuts never answer your question, so I mean,
big fantasy guy.
Just shot in the dark.
Any last questions, comments, and concerns in the chat before we wrap up? You can shoot me with anything here. Let's hear it. Let's hear it in the chat. parlay questions, game questions.
This is our most interactive in the
props.
chat of the season. Shout out, Parlay Dave.
Shout out Parlay Dave fading us on all these games.
I know. Shout out Parlay Dave getting on you and being like, "You guys are fucking idiots."
Parlay Dave's like 81 and 41. Try 151 and 0.
Parlay Dave's like, "I hear you, but you're a woman in sports, so fuck you." I'm just kidding, Dave. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really toxic today. It's been a weird day.
Well, look, I feel confident with us because there's some national media people that even if they're not picks, which a lot of the people do game picks and not the spread, they are garbage. Like I love seeing the pregame picks. And like when I was watching the ESPN one where like they all picked the 49ers against the Bengals. I was just like, yes, like just love seeing that shit. I don't know how these people have these like.
Shout out ESPN. We love you, ESPN.
Oh yeah, no, it was awesome. They did such a great. I mean, it looked so good, and they were all so professional. But it definitely is like funny seeing these people in national media, no matter the network, like just having terrible picks. It's like how? Like why? Now I do get some of them are doing spreads, not picks, but yeah, just want to throw that out there because when I saw them all picking against the Bengals, I was like, I felt even more confident.
For anyone who's curious, 2 years ago today, AFC North matchup, the Steelers beat the Browns, obviously. And Ben Roethlisberger said to Myles Garrett, I meant to tell him to keep my tombstone or whatever because Myles Garrett had all the quarterbacks in his backyard that he's sacked, and he didn't sack him once in that game. So shout out Myles Garrett for physically assaulting Mason Rudolph. I mean, shout out AFC North football.
Doink right over his head. You know what's been funny? Myles Garrett has not had any off the field issues since then, and he's been like a good guy. Like,
well, I'm gonna continue to hold that grudge because that was just ridiculous.
Mason Rudolph probably deserved it. I mean, look at him.
I'm gonna comment on that.
No comment on that. Does anyone have a comment on the stream? Do you like the Bengals black and white uniform? Oh, of course. I mean, it's just beautiful. Everyone here on the show thinks the Bengals have the best uniforms here in the league. I'll take the Bengals black and white unis over the Texan. What was it? Houston? No, yeah, the Houston Oilers jersey. I mean, come on. Although the Houston Oilers jersey was like that looks so good.
He doesn't speak for me when he says everyone on the stream thinks. I don't think.
Which jerseys look better, the Bengals or the Steelers?
Probably fuck you. Probably the Bengals, honestly, just because they have like more like deep like a guy.
Love to see it.
But like I will say though, like the Steelers and the Bengals, like they don't have bad colors. Like black and pretty much any color is gonna be like decent uniforms.
I like the Vikings white or gold and purple than the Ravens purple and black. But call me biased. What color is better, the Ravens or the Vikings?
I don't like either of them. But because I hate the Ravens so much, I guess I'll go with the Vikings. But I don't like purple and yellow together. I just don't. But it's better than the Packers green and yellow.
I would not trade away Gibbs for Kirk and Taylor. I mean, look, the Colts just paid Taylor all that dough, and he's still sharing the backfield. And Zach Moss has, from what I've seen, don't get me wrong, I'm not watching every play of Colts games nowadays, but he has seemed more productive than Jonathan Taylor that I've seen. And I think Gibbs, I think his role only continues to progress, even with what's his name returning. I think it took him to get on the field to show what he can do. And I think he really splurged in that big moment there. And, even when the other guy comes back, the Lions are going to try to run the ball, like once they get the lead on some of these teams. Yeah, I mean, I would hope Christian Kirk isn't starting on your team. I mean, I'm in a 10-man league or a 10 or 12-man league, PPR, and I would cry if Christian Kirk was on my double flex as well. So even an extra position, double flex league. So I would cry if I had Christian Kirk.
Shout out Christian.
Yeah, even with Montgomery back, I wouldn't trade him. At least I wouldn't do that specific trade. Maybe try to gather something else. But that's my opinion.
I don't
Vikings
like
because of the horns. Oh, I mean, can we just talk about Justin Jefferson? How everyone's talking about AJ Brown this, AJ Brown that. But could you imagine if Justin Jefferson was healthy?
Are you concerned about this quarterback situation with Justin Jefferson when he comes back?
No. I think at this point, Justin Jefferson with the hammy injury, like he might as well just take the whole year off. Why come back?
We've seen what we needed to see.
Like we know he's
okay. He's probably the best receiver in the league, but he does not have the catch of the year. The catch of the year was decided week 1, and that was Garrett Wilson doing the like you.
That was crazy.
That was disgusting in the best way. That was disgusting, and I. Oh my God! Did anybody hear my lungs just now? Whoa! I got a little bit of asthma going on here.
Big Nick fiend.
Okay, I don't know. I don't do that. No one on the stream condone. Actually, I think he does. So I don't condone that behavior. I'm all for health and wellness.
I mean, I literally have asthma, so I hope I don't.
So do I, man. That's what just happened. I just had like an asthmatic attack, probably for, I don't know, probably for saying all the bad things I've said about people. Probably because I called the Bills fraudulence.
Anyways, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you what's going on with the Steelers running back situation. Is there an update on that? Like, is Warren just gonna become like the 3-down back? Like, what's going on with that?
Okay, well, there is not going to be a day as long as Najee Harris is on the active roster that Mike Tomlin is going to be like, nah, he's not the starter. He's not our guy. That day's never going to come.
So Najee Harris is still getting the rock.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's there. But I felt the last couple of games, they're really going 50-50, I feel like. Maybe 60-40, Jaylen Warren getting more touches just because he's getting more results. But shout out Jaylen Warren for getting fined like $50,000 for no reason. Shout out the NFL.
I did see that, and that I do agree that was BS.
Well,
what I did see that was kind of funny from Steelers fans were they were complaining how they lost the game because of the refs, because of I think it was a QB hit or something on Pickett or whatever.
Roughing the passer.
Yeah. You guys, like, a big part of the reason you guys won the week prior was also because of the refs, where they gave you that first down. Like, come on, like, you got the refs just helped you win the last game to keep the clock ticking, so they didn't have timeouts or whatever. Like, you can't not say anything about last week, but then complain about this week. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Well, I would but the Rams game,
you even knew that first down was like, dude, that was not a first down. Like, what are they doing out here?
Oh, I know. I came on here and said it wasn't a first down, but I'm saying there was far less questionable calls in the Rams game than there was in the Jags game. They called offsides on the Steelers when it was the Jags offside. Like, twice.
I agree. It was bad.
There's a couple and I'm like, we're in Heinz or whatever, Heinz Field. I'm not calling that.
You know how good it felt to watch the 49ers Bengals game and it actually be like a pretty good officiated game? I was
you know what?
So relieved.
You know what? I love that for you. Too bad I haven't experienced that in a long time.
I mean, it's okay because within the same day I watched the Vikings season, hoping chances get crumbled into pieces.
I'd say I don't want to even worry about that because he's going to come back. He's going to go out to LA and rehab with Aaron Rodgers. But at the same time, Aaron Rodgers is going to be back playing, so Kirk Cousins might have to be on his own. Just have to do this virtually.
Yeah,
So
the problem is Cousins won't be playing for the Vikings next year. That's the problem.
yeah. Wow. Shout out the 2024 NFL draft. I'm looking for a new franchise.
I am really concerned for the Vikings quarterback situation.
I feel like this quarterback draft class isn't as good as last year. Maybe. No. There's a couple good guys.
You got Caleb Williams, who everyone's saying is a generational talent, which is like
He wants
he's kind of a goofball.
He probably is going to go to like Lambeau or something.
Yeah, he's going to go to Lambeau and no, because Lambeau they're going to stick with Jordan Love.
He's going to be a partial owner of Lambeau Stadium. I fucking hate that guy for that.
You got the kid out of North Carolina.
You got Shedeur Sanders. Oh no, he's going to be there for another year, I think.
Yeah, he's staying with Daddy for sure. Daddy's not going to let him go.
You're such a dick. Okay, we gotta get go.
Yeah, we've been live for an hour and 40 minutes. Let's have another good week. 14-2 last week for myself. Courtney did pretty well. Herself as well. 81-41 in the year. 72-50, looking pretty darn good for free, transparent picks and predictions. Leave a like on the stream, hit the subscribe button, join the Discord, follow our socials.
Shout out to all the toxic people in the comments today. I mean, you really made this last 10 minutes.
Toxic people in the comments. We love it. Just totally loving the energy. And yeah, you got anything else?
No. I will see you next week when I'm about 7 games closer to tightening the
Hey, this 81-41 will be at least in the 90s. So let's get to it. I need 9 games this week. Let's do it. Yeah.
I was about to say the stupidest thing ever come out of my mouth. I'm going to shut the fuck up right here, right now.
All right, everyone have a good week. Let's watch some football and enjoy ourselves. Bye.